Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of the JFC. Jackson Brand Fry here as well. Not feeling too well. Fry, expound on your elaborate illness and how long did the doctors give you to live?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Just typical food poisoning. They don't say unseasoned bland meat when we eat on the road. But I don't know. But we're gonna survive. But I don't know. When that not kill we. 'Cause I don't know. We eat mango off a tree when I wash it. So I'm good.
I mean that is the most Jamaican answer you could ever hear, and that's exactly where you started. And as a Jamaican, ginger tea, soup, crackers, ready.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
As a
Yeah, man.
Jamaican.
Yeah, man, but we'll get straight into it. Firstly, sticking locally. And this is something that actually caused some arguments between you and Randy this past week. Mount Pleasant knock Waterhouse out of the JPL playoffs. So Tapa Whitmore proceeds and Randy's beloved Waterhouse are eliminated. And you guys started a little argument about that.
Yeah, it's to be expected. Tapa at the helm. Tapa is the goat of Jamaican football, whether you want to believe it or not. So it's to be expected. Tapa for the win. Let's go. Just
Mm.
don't let him anywhere near the national team, and I'm fine.
Exactly. Exactly, mate. Exactly. I mean, Tapa's doing a good job. He's already won the league down here. He's going for um two titles in the last 3 seasons, which is no, it's not a good look for the Jamaican football. I tell people already. I've been sending out my resumes to try and take down Tapa. No one is willing to accept. They're just scared or they don't want to pay me the wages. Um, but yeah, it's Mount Pleasant in the final. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to be playing Tivoli. So that's going to be a hell of a game. Speaking of CONCACAF, Jesse Marsh, the new Canadian manager, we all begged the Canadian FA to hire Frank Lampard. Didn't happen. Didn't happen with Solskjaer, but they do get Jesse Marsh. Thoughts of from a hurt CONCACAF enemy?
Sheer enemy. I'm a friend of Canada, man, and sheer disappointment. I strongly believe that Lampard was the guy to help Canada get to the place they need to be. But on a serious note, it's good that them have a little bit of sense up there because I swear, man, if they picked up Lampard, that would have been hilarious and bad. So I think Jesse March can do a job, and hopefully Canada can perform well enough in the upcoming World Cup and matches and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Canada, you're gonna see some very energetic football because that's what he did at I think it was Salzburg. That's what he did at Leeds. The energy. So you're gonna see people like Tejan Buchanan, like Alfonso Davies, like K, uh, running hard for 80, 85 minutes for a game, and it's gonna be difficult. At least the good thing is they're not in the World Cup qualifiers, so we don't have to face them. So that's good on us. For me, again, to my Canadian friends, I really wished you guys would have gone with Lampard. It would have been so funny. It would have been so funny. I mean, imagine if you guys actually were in the World Cup qualifiers, and you guys are here in the national stadium, and I'm seeing Fat Frank. I mean, the amount of Chelsea shirts you'd see in the crowd, everybody you'd see amount of pitch invaders. Yo, Frank, yeah, shit, Frank, come out, and then you have the actual people who are nice, and they'd be like, Frank, loved you as a player, etc., etc. It would be the best mixed emotions game that would never have kicked off.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. It's fair to say there's probably a lot more haters than lovers of Frank Lampard. But it's good to see that Jesse March get the shot at the Canadian national team. I think he'll do a good job. I think he'll do a good job over there. Both Canada. I actually like the Canadian team.
Yeah, Canada does have a very nice team. And look, all best wishes to Jesse Marsh. He will need it because CONCACAF is not the best zone for um, managers with good or quote unquote good tactical style. All of that goes through the window because it's CONCACAF. It all goes through the window. Um, Trying to move in a different direction though. We're moving from CONCACAF all the way to Europe. The Euros are bound to start in the summer. France have released their team, so have Germany and Spain. Nacho has been called up from Spain, and N'Golo Kante is back in the French team, but no Michael Elise and no Musa Diaby. Kante is back. I mean, how do you see them as more of a threat to your precious England, who I checked actually, and by betting odds, England are favourites to win the Euros.
Um, wait a minute, wait a minute. You're making strong accusations there. England is my team. I didn't bet them to win anything.
No, no,
Hold
I'm
a minute.
saying no, bro.
Hold
I
on.
checked, right? I have to throw a dollar here to make a dollar there and whatever. I checked odds for the Euros and England were top, but I can't bet on England because that's basically losing your money. That's giving your money away. I'm betting on Georgia because that's 43,000 to one odds. I'm betting on Georgia. Kvaratskhelia,
Oh.
don't let me down.
Well, speaking about throwing your money away, well, if that's how you like to do it, I guess. But um, France's side, the quality never ceases to stop amazing me. It why is Kante back in the squad? Kante now why is he back in the squad? He can't chill. Him now win everything already. I don't understand. He,
He's
he
not
can he
won
can
the Euros.
relax now. But he
He's
win the
not won the
World
Euros.
Cup. He's won
But he's not
just
won the
relax.
Euros.
Bro's trying to complete football. Like, come on, man. Yeah, but France, France are for sure favorites. What do you think about like the Portugal?
I mean, the thing with Portugal is I've already asked that question sometimes, but with the season Ronaldo's having so far, if he wins the Euros with Portugal, does he get the Ballon d'Or? And people are looking at me
Oh,
like, "Oh, that's rubbish, whatever, whatever." And I'm like, "No, really.
rubbish!
He's got the
Absolute
most goals.
garbage.
He's got the most goals of any player this year. Um, there is sorry, the most goals of any player this year. If he wins the Euro, that means he's knocked out players like Bellingham, like Kane, like Mbappe. He's gotten past those players. Like, why couldn't he win the Ballon d'Or after a season like that?
Um, the easy answer is corruption, but I'm not gonna use that answer this time. I'm gonna say, um, no one respects the Saudi Pro League. Like, to be honest, it doesn't have the same level of. It's not the same caliber of respect. I'm going to use that word again. Respect to like the other part, European leagues. So while he does have really good statistics over there, really good goal contributions and goals in the Saudi Pro League, it doesn't translate well in Europe because the Ballon d'Or is a popularity game. That's just facts. So if he's performing well in an unpopular league, he's going to get the same treatment like Lewandowski. That's what's going to happen. Lewandowski could have won the World Cup. If he's playing in the Bundesliga, he's not winning the Ballon d'Or. And that's the same scenario for CR7, you know. So I don't think he has a chance to win another Ballon d'Or. Messi has definitely. Messi have a better chance to win the Ballon d'Or than than Ronaldo. So um so yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, and bloody hell, you wouldn't believe it. There was another roach, blood. There was another one.
Tell him to stop come out while you're recording. Like tell him to like stay in your
Blood,
part of the house.
blood. The thing is, this one started walking, and as I took my slipper off, he lifted his wings. So you know what's gonna happen. I've
Oh,
been
bro, if
smacking
I
him for about 6 minutes, blood.
damn. Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, he's dead.
that's good,
But
good.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I get what you mean about the quality of the league, etc. Because Iniesta could have 40 assists in the Japanese league, but they wouldn't give him anything. They couldn't give him anything because they said quality is not there, etc. Which is a thing that I don't, I don't, I don't know how you determine better players. Look, Cole Palmer's been young, has won Young Player of the Season in Premier League, right? But he has been individually one of the best players in the league. But they're not going to give it to him because of the team performance, which I don't get because it's an individual award. Same with Ronaldo, obviously the league quality, quote unquote. But you have to take into consideration he is 39 years old. Like at his age, he still should not be doing this. Zlatan, no matter how great he was or claimed to have been, he did not put up these numbers. Yes, he played in Serie A, but Serie A is a slow league. You can get a lot of shots off. Ronaldo is what Juventus top scorer for the last decade, and he was there 3 years. So it shows that sometimes people underappreciate the league. Right, you did mention Lewandowski, and he was robbed. Everybody will remember that. That's two Ballon d'Ors Messi's robbed, and we have um, lockdown. Right, that's two.
Yeah.
But back to real life, I don't see Portugal winning it. I don't think Roberto Martinez is the type of manager that can lead you to a trophy. I don't think they have enough mentality monsters in the team. I mean, yeah, you have Ronaldo, you have Delo, you have Fernandez. Um, the other guys are kind of weak mentality, aren't they? João Felix, Ruben Neves, Goncalo Ramos, Diogo Costa. They're kind of weaker mentality than, and you're laughing, but the Ronaldo instilled his mentality on the low when he came to United. He's instilled it on Bruno Fernandes, and you see that as the only players who tried. I mean, Bruno, what was it? Played with a fractured hand in the last game against Newcastle, held his hand in position like this, couldn't really move it, or else that's a bigger problem. Played 88 minutes on it. That's the mentality. I mean, players like João Felix and Rafael Leao, when the going gets tough, their heads drop and they won't care anymore, and then they're off. That's not the mentality they need. So I still think, regardless of what the bookies think, France are the favorites. France have the better squad. I mean, France have left out so many players. They could enter that team, and it would be France versus that team in the final.
Crazy. France A versus France B in the Euros. I think I think they should have some type of financial fair play thing, but for colonizers, where countries that can just like drain like talent out of other countries, so like kind of balance off the the, the, the skill of the continent, because it really is broken. It's actually unbelievable how good France's squad is in comparison to the other countries in the continent.
Yeah, I mean, and just to shout out as well, Southampton have beaten West Brom. They're going to the playoff final against Leeds. I mean, I don't know who didn't see that coming, but it's final at Wembley. It's a day after the FA Cup final, actually. Will we do a commentary? Who knows? Maybe you guys will see the Notts County one tomorrow. Not Notts County, Solihull Moors. Um, but yeah, just want to shout that out. There was a fan who was I'm gonna just say it. I'm just gonna say it. He had his prosthetic leg in his arms, waving. That's how happy he was. Don't ask me how he took it off, but he took it off. It was in his arms, and he was cheering with his prosthetic leg above his head like this.
And that's
So,
the passion I strive to emulate.
and that is
That
football.
Yeah. I more appreciate the type of passion. I remember in the World Cup when Argentina won it, and the ladies basically risked their freedom to show like their boobs in the Qatar stadium.
Yeah, I
Like
know
that's
you.
the
You
time.
would like that. Yeah, you would like that.
I'm not saying I would emulate that, but I appreciate that level of excitement and passion. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, you'd. I know you'd like that. I mean, you would love it if Croatia won because Miss Croatia said she was going to just walk naked. So I know you'd be on Croatia's bandwagon. just for the time being, anyway.
Cur- maybe
Yeah,
Curse is the underdog, and that's more of a reason to support them.
yeah. But we need to get into actual football things. We need to get into the actual stories, and VAR could possibly be scrapped from the English game as early as next season. Wolves have submitted a complaint, and a vote will be done by the clubs in the Premier League whether they want to keep or they want to scrap VAR. Fry. If you guys who listen now did click the link in the description and go over to that interview with Chris Wise from the BBC that I did a couple weeks ago. He did say that with VAR, it's here to stay, the technology, and it's just virtually it's a bit of both in regards to the mistakes that have been made. The technology is not really like if you watch Champions League, you see the difference in offside calls. You don't draw lines; it's a whole different 3D model, and then you have human error who are just well, it's not quote unquote clear and obvious, so we have to leave it. So, Fry, next season, do we have any statements of, well, VAR would have ruled that out, or VAR would have given that?
Um, yes, 100%. I think we forget how far football has come in regards to like bad calls. Like we've got a lot of bad calls, but it's coming from a long way. There has been some egregious football calls from, as I said, human error and just plain cheating, you know. So to get rid of VAR, it removes the issue of VAR and reintroduces a whole issue that we basically forgot about, you know. So
Incompetent
uh,
refs?
exactly that's not going anywhere. That's not going anywhere. And if and the incompetent refs could hide a bit behind VAR, but with no VAR, the refs are just going back to take full brunt of the blame and the abuse. So I think we're gonna see another issue resurface. Um, I'm all for it though, you know, entertainment is one of the reasons why I watch football. So as long as no bad decisions go against my team, I'm good.
Wow, that is a my God. I mean, how is it going to be for even say for example, let's not say it's club football. Let's say international football, right? And Jamaica have a chance to win their first you'd call it continental trophy, the Nations League you'd call it because it has North American teams, and we're in the final and we're up 1-0, and then we're playing America. Say for example we're playing America. Christian Pulisic scores a goal that everyone in the world can see is offside, but the linesman keeps his flag down and says goal given. VAR no, it's not there, but we see the replay on the big screen and see it's clearly offside. But the goal's given. We go to we go to penalties. We lose on penalties. What's the feeling
Uh,
then?
the worst part about that example is that I have lived that exact same scenario. I have lived that and experienced, so I know exactly how I'm gonna feel like someone just killed my closest pet, you know. So it's gonna I'm gonna be destroyed. It's gonna ruin my day.
When
But
did you
it
live that?
Jamaica played against the United States in the I want to say the quarterfinals of no, it was a World Cup qualifying, and Damian Lowe scored a header against against the States to win the match, and the ref called it a foul. However, no, yeah, the ref called it a foul, right? And it wasn't, and that kind of propelled Jamaica to introduce the entire CONCACAF region to introduce what's it called? Introduce VAR into the setup. And then the following match, it's two ties. The following match we play against US, Damian Lowe destroys a man's ankle, and the ref was like, "Yo, he got the ball, play on." And because we asked for VAR, VAR was like, "Yo, watch this back, ref." And the ref watch it back and he said, leave me alone. Nearly broke the whole of my ankle and give him a straight red in the first half. So I have lived it. I've seen it. I have seen the good and the bad of VAR. Right? It's a horrible experience, and it does happen. I don't want that to happen again, but it will. To be honest, wait. Before I go on for talk about any more VAR, what you think? More area, what you think about VAR and VAR leaving?
Well, you can keep the technology. The thing is, right? You can't keep the technology because the technology will be run by the same people. So you'd have to get rid of those people and keep the technology. But how are you going to do that? Because the ref association kind of has to have the technology. It was earlier in the season when people were saying, "How about some ex-players in the VAR room to say, yeah, offside, yeah, foul, etc., etc." For me, listen, put me in a VAR room. I will have no biases. Just don't put me for a Man United, Liverpool, or Man City game. Because if you do, I've already said it, right? I will show biases in those games. If you put me in those games, anything that happens, you call it on yourself. Right? Just don't put me in those games. For everyone else, yeah, put me there. I'll ref a fair game. I'll watch the replay and say, "Are you fucking mad, blood? Look at the replay. Look at the replay. Go to the screen. Look. Look, does that look clean? He gets the ball.
and
Shut the fuck up. It's a foul. Rule it out.
and that's what happening. That's why VAR is having an issue right now because the VAR has taken over the responsibility of refing the game. The ref does not have the final say on the pitch anymore. So now when the ref gets that ring in there, yo, check the screen. He is more in he's more encouraged to go VAR's way. So VAR has the final say, and which is why you're seeing the big issue because the ref on the pitch who is watching it live should have the final say. But you have to have room for human error. It's a very complicated situation, you know. It's very complex and complicated because while a lot of the cause are corruption, a lot of them are human error as well, and you just cannot eliminate human error completely. No matter how hard you try, it's just gonna happen, right? So I think the league is better with VAR. That's me personally, because it has some type of factual when there's an error, when there's a mistake, I think it's more clear to me, the viewer, because I'm seeing the VAR, I'm seeing say the ref do something corrupted, and I'm seeing say the VAR do something corrupted or make a mistake. But when that's removed, then the ref can just make a mistake and everybody has to work with it. Then it leaves a it removes a level of accountability that I think VAR kind of helps in a way.
Yeah, and I know exactly what you mean because the ref might say, "Yeah, clean, clean tackle, wonderful tackle, love it. It's a 1970s tackle," and VAR would be like, "You just said it's a 1970s tackle. That means it can't work in this day." Oh yeah, let's rule it out. You know. Well, I've got a game to go to. Um, what was that? On the 27th, so in 10 days. I hope there will be no VAR. We'll be playing other departments within the workplace. Um, so again, hopefully there's no VAR. Hopefully the linesmen and refs aren't corrupted. Then again, I'm going to need to walk with extra money just in case. Um, that's a joke, by the way. It's a joke, by the way. um, but yeah, when VAR is there, it's much harder to even play. It's not just hard to ref. It's hard to play. It's hard to celebrate. It makes the game a bit more difficult. I mean, when VAR just came in, and I heard it was in America first, I'm like, that's a perfect place to start because every single one of their sports have the replay center. You know, in the NFL, anything that happens in the final 2 minutes of a game is automatically reviewed. I mean, it stops start, but it does. You know, they all have to review it just to ensure everything is good. In basketball, you have the challenge now, so they had it easy. Germany had it very easy. England just made it hard. I mean, I don't know why. If it's scrapped, it's scrapped, and
The
we go back to the
standard,
days.
it comes to the standard and the quality of the sport in England is so high that any mistake, any error is scrutinized and exploded to great heights. So you can see a country like the States where they a lot of the cars and stuff, it's sports over in the States is primarily money making and entertainment. So there's not much focus on the quality and the perfection of the rules and stuff like that, like there is in England. I can see that if you compare how the rules and how the game is played in both countries. So I think that is definitely why you see it work in one country, and in another country it's like it's the worst thing that ever happened to the sport, which I don't think it is, but people do feel that way and it needs to be addressed.
Hmm. Yeah, look, look. It was people have misjudged what VAR was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be the final say or the determinant of a game. Its name, it's the video assistant referee. Means it helps the ref. It doesn't do its job for them, right? If the ref didn't see something and say for example his view was obstructed, right? Say let me use Newcastle versus I don't know, Luton Town. And Carlton Morris is running clean through, but Sven Botman goes across, slides in, and because Dubravka comes up and covers the ball, the ref doesn't see any contact whatsoever and is like, play on. But then VAR is like, okay, you didn't see it, which is understandable, but this what happened. He looks at it and says, yeah, that's right, penalty. And that's what VAR was supposed to do, not a ref saying, yeah, I don't think that was a foul, and the guy on VAR is like, well, there was contact, but it's not enough to overturn a decision. Like that doesn't even make any sense, right? That doesn't even make any sense. And what someone actually told me, what was it? Wednesday? Was it Tuesday? Wednesday? Sometime like that. They said since the introduction of VAR, at the what was it, 1920 season, Manchester City have won every Premier League title.
I
Uh,
think that might be a coincidence, but that's a very good stat. I think ESPN will post that and other
ex-
news outlets, but that's a good stat. Leaning
exactly.
more to the point you were making about VAR kind of like pointing the refs to a certain decisions. The term they always use when they talk about VAR is like it's it's to if there is a clear and obvious error from the ref, that is when they they signal him to the screen. But sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes they're like, "Yo, ref, you made this decision, but we do not like the decision that you made," and they ask him to change it.
Yeah,
So
but what
it
is clear and obvious though?
that's
What
a good
is clear
question.
and obvious? Because Doku kicked McAllister in his chest, and the ref didn't call that as a penalty or a foul. So I'm guessing that's an obvious foul that he missed, but wasn't overturned. You
All
get
right.
that?
Okay.
Because that's what
So
that's one of
is
them
is
decisions, bro.
is it a thing where like if the ref is looking at it, they call if the ref isn't looking at it, they call it back, or if the ref is directly in a good position to view it, they're like, yo, he saw it, you don't care, we move along. How do they do it?
Okay, so the audio was released, obviously, and Michael Oliver, who how many points have City won from losing positions when he's the ref? I don't even want to get into that. And he's gonna be in the FA Cup final, and he's head of VAR for that game. Fucking great. Anyway, Michael Oliver watched the play and like, no penalty for me. They were both going for the ball, and VAR was like, hold on, Ollie, let us check. I think he said something along the lines of, his foot is high, but he makes contact. And I was like, so by that rule, right? Mane running clean through an Edison and absolutely karate kidding his face should have been fine because he caught the ball first. Based on what they said.
Yeah, it is definitely inconsistent, as you clearly pointed out. But is that an error for VAR, or is it just plain whole um, bad decision making from the refs? So it comes back. It's like the chicken or the egg. You can say it's VAR or is the refs making the bad decisions. When the video is there now, whether VAR is there or not, the video is still gonna be there, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's the personnel behind it that normally causes this issue. And look, let's be honest, the PGMOL is not going to sack every single ref tomorrow and hire new people, right? They always talk about diversity. There's no woman ref and there's one black ref in the entirety of the pyramid, I think. But they're not gonna sack the refs and then say, "Hey, we need new people. We're gonna get some Germans, some Americans, some Italians. Change this league up." They're not gonna do it. We're gonna have to persist with it until it either works or it. Well, yeah, either it works. There's kind of no second option. Um, and that's just it's horrific. It's horrific to think about. But enough VAR talk. We've been talking about computers all the time. We have to talk about football. And Aston Villa are in the Champions League again. Unai Emery taking them from the reins of Steven Gerrard and brought them to the Champions League. What was it? 2000 and was it 2018, 19 when they got promoted to the Premier League? So was that 5 years, and they're in the Champions League now. Um, Villa, and they have Ollie Watkins, your guy Leon Bailey, who after I will mention something about him and your team of the season that someone told me um earlier this week. Diaby, Douglas Luiz. Um, do you think this is like a one-off for Villa, or next season you'll see them be more consistent, pressure the top three even more into the later stages of the season?
That is a good question. I have no idea. Unai Emery has a specific magic to his game, and he can bring a mediocre side to great heights. We've seen it multiple times.
Except
But
Arsenal.
except yeah, except Arsenal. But I really don't know. I really don't know. It's such a weird thing for Villa. I heard a lot of people at the start of the season was like, look out for Villa, but when if them will reach top four and next season again, I don't see that happening again. But it would be good. It would be quite interesting. Love the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, Villa is that story that you look at and you say they should be here because they do have the history, they have everything, etc. Um, next season is gonna be next season. Funnily enough, will be more of the same of this season because European football only difference will be Wednesday, Saturday instead of Thursday, Sunday. Uh, but for me, right, I think Villa need to reinforce that team just a bit more. Like when Martinez is out, you can't have Robin Olsen playing football. Like Robin Olsen should not be playing any type of senior football at this level. Like for God's sakes, he's cost them about 2,000 points. He's he's not he's not that goalkeeper who can keep doing that. Right now, he's a championship keeper at best, if I'm honest.
You said
Uh,
senior football, and that brought up something that I saw recently. James Milner, I think James Milner is like 19 games or 20 games off from having the most Premier League most appearances in an English league. Like some crazy like that. Bro has been playing football since he was like since the 80s, and he's still starting in the Premier
the
League.
80s, it wasn't that
So
far.
it's the 80s to me, but like it's crazy, bro. It really is a dinosaur still running up and down on the pitch and getting skinned. I don't know how he does it, but he manages. So I just brought up that front just to derail. No, sorry about that. You can continue.
No, man. I mean, I understand, and he's close to Barry. We all know he's close to Gareth Barry. He has well, he plays next season. He would have broken Ryan Giggs' record for most Premier League seasons played because yeah, he's kind of been here since day one. Just as you said. Um, where was I? But yeah, Robin Olsen can't be the keeper. The thought on Leon Bailey, yeah. So a colleague, he saw the video and on YouTube for those who don't know. and saw the teams of the season, and he saw yours, and was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I and I was like, "Blood, calm down, just look at the team, think." And he's like, "Where's Saka? Where's Foden? Where's Anthony Gordon?" And I'm like, "That's not my team. I didn't choose it." And he's like, "The fuck is Leon Bailey doing here?" And I'm like, "Well, blood." By the words of my co-host, he's been one of the best wingers in the league. He says, "Well, he's been the best winger for Villa, but Villa are fourth in the league behind three teams who have better wingers." And I'm like, "Well, you take it up with him. I'm not getting into this." But I just start to relay that message.
That is a brilliant point. But um, um, mm, wait, is this the part where I defend myself? Alright, so sorry, let me
Yeah, yeah.
defend myself.
He also asked why
um,
Palmer was up front, but then he said, based on the formation, it's fine because Palmer does score a lot of goals.
um, to be honest, I don't have much defense for that. Like Bailey had to be on the team. Let's go Bailey. Ooh. I'm his agent, as stated multiple times, and
Yep.
also, yeah, I just heard that. But that's a good point. And I remember I said like my team is like for balance out. You're really actually like well thought out team, you know. So it's like it's a balance. It's a yin and yang. We can't have two sweats. Just two sweats. You have somebody that not you have to
I
mix it
mean,
someone. Just mix it the right way, man.
look, if you wanted to see a shit Premier League team of the season, we could have easily just looked at Gary Neville or Jamie Carragher, not taking shots, just saying back three and having Haaland rubbish, completely rubbish. Um, but yeah, let's stick in the Premier League. That was just a little note on your Premier League team of the season by somebody. Um, Spurs have failed to qualify for the Champions League, and Ange is furious. Ange obviously, says that, mate. The last 48 hours before the City game were really eye opening to see what these fans prefer. They prefer the demise of someone else than success for themselves. And it brought up a lot of
Wow.
questions because when you say those type of things, he said he felt it throughout the club. So it's not just talking about the fans, he's talking about upstairs and on the pitch. So he's putting himself on the firing line, and people even have been saying, will Ange be there next season? Because after this display in a game where they could have won, they could have easily won, they were the better team over the 90 minutes. In a game like this where they needed the fans especially, do you even see Ange continuing at Tottenham next season? They haven't won a trophy. Like, people say forever, but they haven't won a trophy since 2009, right? They won the Carabao Cup in 2009, back when it was the Carling Cup. But like, does Ange continue next season? Because I think he does, but some managers would just walk away from that. I mean, Conte did.
Yeah. So obviously that's a brilliant point he brought up and a real issue with as I said, everywhere upstairs down to the fans in the stadium that have like an issue mentally. And him bringing up that just shows that he doesn't want that for the players on the pitch. He doesn't want that for the players on the pitch running the 90 minutes, right? And he's letting everybody know that this is what he's noticing. And that's a brilliant manager. It really stands up for us, right? I've read Ange. From the time I seen like in Hail Up the brother with Down syndrome in that one interview, I rate him. But like he has to stay. He's the man to I don't see anybody really doing what Postacoglu is doing for Tottenham right now. Kante couldn't do it. I don't think they really have a choice to get rid of and bring in who you've seen that everyone has seen that Angs really has a fresh eyes when it comes to the Premier League and the crazy strats he does when the side's like 10 man down, and how he has brought the side back from losing their biggest talisman to having a shot at the Champions League. So he really is doing good. It's just sad that the Tottenham just being Tottenham and just tightening him up and just mash up the man vibes and thing. Um, I think he should leave. Nobody not deserve Tottenham, so I
Yeah.
think he should leave. But I think he's gonna stay. What do you think?
Well, as I said, I've seen managers walk away. I remember Conte. Conte didn't get fired, right? People don't seem to remember. Conte went into an interview and said, "This board has no ambition. These players have no ambition. They only want top four, and I want trophies, and that's not gonna work." And then they sacked him. So yeah, Ange saying this. Look, Ange could walk. Ange could say, "Mate, I just want you guys to change your attitude and decide to stay." But if Ange goes, there's still a very good manager, world class even out there, that Tottenham could go out and get, and that's Gareth Southgate.
You got jokes. This guy a comedian.
I tell you what, that would be the most Tottenham-like manager ever.
I can't. That's just right. That's just bars right
He'd,
there.
get-
Bars.
he'd get along with the fans. The board would love him. The media would love him. No one would care Tottenham not winning. Oh, but Southgate, of course I want to have an interview. Of course we're going to his press conference. It would be the most Tottenham thing ever. I mean, look how long England have kept him. He's not won anything, but everybody loves him. What's different with Tottenham?
That's that's a good one. Bro said, "You have a brilliant manager." I was so shocked. I was expecting that. That caught me off guard, man. That was a good one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but on a serious note, the manager market is really shit right now. I mean, technically, the only good manager available is Hansi Flick. Everybody else is in a job, and who is in a job that you try to get costs a lot of money, like 20 million and up. So there's not really an option apart from Flick, and who knows where he wants to go. This man has been enjoying life ever since he won the trouble with Bayern and just decided, he's gone. Um, but yeah, let's stick with the Premier League. Quick note, just a little Man United talk. Rafael Varane will be leaving at the end of the season, just like Anthony Martial. Um, Thoughts on Varane? United's best defender, hands down, one of the best of the last decade.
And a certain Harry Maguire exists, man. Just
Bro,
don't
calm
just.
yourself. Enough jokes, man. Southgate was enough.
Okay, all right. You can't do so much jokes back to back.
Uh,
Some games was your joke. What do you mean?
Yeah, yeah,
What?
yeah. So yeah, no more jokes, bro. Move on.
All right, all right. So yeah, um I wouldn't go that far to say he was the best centre back because in 10 years. However,
Yeah,
um it's sad to see him go because he definitely had a lot more to offer. It's just sad that it didn't work out how the fans expected it to work out, how the manager expected it to work out.
yeah, and people go off and say, "Oh, he was always injury prone, this, that, etc." And I'm like, when will these people actually learn? Like Rafael Varane played at Real Madrid for a decade, partnering Sergio Ramos and at latter stages at Militao. And for the 10 years, he's played at the very least, 80% of the games in the league seasons, right? And that's without rest, right? That's without the manager actually saying, "All right, Rafa, you don't have to play this week. We can play the kids, whatever." People don't seem to know that a medical team goes a very far way. I mean, Real Madrid had the same doctors that worked on R9 that they did last December, right? They sacked him because there were one too many injuries, which shows a lot. He's been in the job for over 20 years. When you come to United, if you never had an injury in your life, well, you're bound to have one soon. I mean, look at Martinez. Worked with Ten Hag for 3 years at Ajax. Missed 12 games. 12 games in 3 years. What? He comes to Manchester United, misses 6 months. How is that even possible? How is that remotely possible? And people are gonna say injury prone. That's literally it's the biggest spit in the it's the biggest you need new doctors you've ever seen. Right? I know listen, I'm not putting this on the record, right? What you always say in GTA, right? I know, I know people who stitch up gangsters in GTA who do better jobs than the Man United medical department.
In GTA,
So,
in GTA.
of course, GTA 6. We're not telling you how it goes. Of course, but that's just it. Varane was never injury prone. Like the man literally played 48 games last season. I don't know how that is injury prone. And if you're talking injury prone, how about Luke Shaw? No one talks about him. I wonder if it's because he's English.
Yeah, Luke Shaw is also injury prone. Yeah, for sure. Um, you bring up some good points. Obviously, that's an important factor, but I don't think that can be used to kind of like hide the fact that Varane did miss a lot of matches. Yeah, for United. Obviously, yes, the United has bad doctors, but that don't change the fact that he did it. So it didn't work out how good we wanted it to work out. I'm not going to fault the player 100% for injuries because it's unfortunate. It's sometimes it's out of the player's control. Sometimes it's not. But it's just one of the signs that didn't work out. We thought it would have worked out, but it didn't. And hopefully moves on and gets the game time and 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 football he wants. Yeah.
Y- Yeah, and some of the games he missed, he was fit. If you remember, there was like a 6 or 7 game stretch this season where he was just on the bench, where Eric just didn't play him. So that's another one where people say he missed games, where he was there. I mean, he was supposed to play West Ham, and Eric went Johnny Evans and Gamboala. Like there are things like that. And plus, I saw a story about Varane probably going to Tigres in Mexico. I'm like, I just got my visa, blood. Tigres about to have one of them biggest crowds ever. Yeah, I'm not joking, man. But just before we go into a very interesting phase of kicking the bucket this week, I just wanted to touch on the highest paid athletes in the world was released by Forbes magazine, and obviously number one, Cristiano Ronaldo, Mr. Sue himself, 260 million
Sue.
260 million US dollars for a year. That was his annual salary. Um, Second place was a bit surprising for me. It was John Rahm, and for those who don't know, John Rahm is a Spanish golf player. 218 million, and people want to tell me the Live Golf Tournament isn't helping people. I mean, listen, the guys golfers play like a weekend every 4 months. The Live Golf Tournament does help, right? And then third is Messi, 135 million. LeBron James in fourth, 128, and Giannis at 111 in fifth. All the way down, Neymar is the only other footballer on the list, is he? No, Mbappe is there, Neymar and Karim Benzema. So we do have a fair few amount of footballers. Um, so yeah, but Fry, how come I'm not seeing you on the list then?
That's a good question. That's a good because my money is behind the what do you call it, under the cupboard. I don't even know the phrase. Obviously, you can tell I'm not a scammer because I don't know the phrases. But if I were a scammer, I would know the phrases. But yeah, um, money. It's, do you think there should be like salary caps introduced? Because salary caps is a thing in the states.
Yeah, for some of them, uh, what the hell? Anyway, yeah, we'll get straight into another session of who will kick the bucket. I think I know who will do it, but I'm hoping Fry will
Uh,
surprise me with a different name. I mean, you guys probably already know because he uses this guy every single week. But we'll give him
what?
his 30. We'll be right back.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. It's sad that the executive producer, yeah, it's sad that the executive producer decided to downplay who was gonna kick the bucket and basically gave you guys a hint. Like I didn't want that. I didn't want that, man. But yeah, obviously there's only one person that can kick the bucket this week, and he says I use his name all the time, but it has to be Diddy. Diddy have to
Like,
did did he have to kick the bucket again? Like there is no way this week he couldn't kick the bucket. A video surfaced showing him RKOing his ex-wife, his ex-girlfriend, um, stomping on her, some horrible stuff, and he just has to kick the bucket for it. It's beyond my control at this point. Hopefully they'll kick the bucket again next week, but
bro,
like
you're gonna use every week.
every every week he does something new. Oh, what you want me to do? The man,
How about
a joke.
you try and find somebody in sport? How about
Like
that? Try and find somebody in sport, bro.
it was either him or Oprah, but like what Oprah did was
Oprah do?
trivial.
No, no, no.
What
What did Oprah do?
what Oprah did was trivial compared to Diddy. So like Diddy had to maybe Oprah next week. Who knows? If Oprah continue to do her foolishness, Oprah next week. But like this week, it has
No.
to be Diddy. Diddy is. It just shows when you have infinite money, you can just do horrible stuff and get away with it. The video surfaced of him Mason Greenwood in his girlfriend, and
Hey,
it
hey, 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 hey.
what too soon, too
No,
soon.
no,
Bro, it's been
no,
a
no,
year.
no,
It's been
no. Nah, he's got
uh,
charges dropped. You can't use him.
okay, all right. Um, Paul Scholes in
Hey, yo.
um. Can I use gigs? Gigs. All right,
No,
I'm
no.
done.
Use Chris Brown. Use Chris Brown.
All right, Chris. All right, yeah, fair enough. Chris Brown and his girlfriend, right? And it just shows that endless money stop this charge from happening because this was like 2016. 20 it must stamp part from 2016, and he paid off everybody, and they had the the video recording and just sat on it. And the only reason why it resurfaced, and this is my theory in GT, of course, is that the person who had the recording tried to blackmail him for some more cash because they were like, yo, Diddy's blowing back again, and we have this recording of him stomping on his ex. We can use it to get more money and live lavish. And he was like, nah, I'm broke. So they just showed the video. And that just showed that there's corruption all around, not only in the hotel that didn't release the video, but everybody involved. That the whole United States is corrupted from the president down to Diddy himself. It just shows that yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Domestic violence is bad. I disagree with it. I don't know about Jackson, but I disagree with it personally.
What do you mean you don't know
Um,
about me?
um, don't do Chris Brown activities. It's bad. Um, yeah. So Diddy had to kick the bucket, guys. I hate to say it. I'm gonna say it again next week. If another video drop next week, just be prepared. just yeah. But I've gone on long enough. Who will kick the bucket, Jackson? Hopefully, it's not Diddy.
Bruh. I'm not you. But obviously, before I actually go into it, I have a theory that every rich black guy in the world commits domestic violence. Because like every single one of them has a video of them doing such a thing. You know, you have Diddy, you have Chris Brown, you have Quavo, you've got Mason. Like I don't know what it is, but you know, maybe it's a setup. Maybe it's the what's that thing they used to say? The Illuminati. Maybe it's that thing. You know, that shit people used to believe in. Um but yeah, enough rambling. On to this. The only set of people who could kick the bucket, I know it's not Diddy. It's the entirety of the Tottenham Hotspur fan base. Because I tell you what, for one day in their however long Tottenham have been around history, they had over 700 million fans. And they did us wrong. They did us all wrong, like not even putting up a fight, saying yes, lose so we can so Arsenal can't win the league. I mean, Blood, Thierry Henry won the league at White Hart Lane and lifted the trophy in front of you guys. What are you saying? You know how embarrassing that is? You just given up 50 million pounds more. Or 60. I think it's gonna be more money based on the new Champions League format. Just so Arsenal doesn't win the league. So you're 50 million pounds broker, but you're happy because Arsenal lost the league. Like, grow the fuck up, man. If Manchester United, right? If Liverpool could win the league and Manchester United have to beat Arsenal for it, I couldn't give a shit. Listen, I'm not helping Liverpool. I'm helping myself. I'm going to the Champions League. And that's how you have to view it. You can't view it as we have to stop them. Imagine next season, right? Imagine next season, Arsenal, they have like a 8 point gap going into the final 4 games of the season. And if they win their next game, they're gonna be champions and they're gonna be playing Tottenham. What you gonna do then? Huh? You're gonna try and play the games of your life. You lose at the Tottenham Stadium and you see them lift the trophy in front of your eyes. Then you're going to look and you're gonna say, maybe we should have made the Champions League last year, because now we're shit.
Yeah. Um. That's I have a boy. I'm speechless. It's surprising how bad it is. If you're a Jamaican, you know about bad mind, and if bad mind is a disease, it's like schizophrenia. They can't help themselves. They just have to be bad mind, even to their own detriment. And it's really bad. It's really sad to see the fans, Tottenham fans, behaving that way. Just shooting their own club in the foot for the downfall of their rival. Yeah, man, bad mind. It's horrible. It's horrible thing to witness. Hopefully, them get better.
Yeah, it's terrible mentality, and that's why Ange should leave. Ange can go to. Hey, if Ange is gonna leave, I tell you what, he's going to Bayern Munich, and he's going to break the Hurricane curse himself.
Wow, you think Ange can perform miracles? you,
He
you
he got
think
he
so?
got he got Tottenham playing good football. Anything is possible with Ange. The
Ma-
Australian.
how many leagues in a row did Bayern win before
They
before
won.
Kane?
They won
How?
12 straight.
There's no way. I read Hans, but there's no way, man. Like he's not Jesus Christ, bro. He's not, bro. He's just a guy at the end of the day.
Blood. Look, Hurricane is gonna win his first trophy next season, right? We all know it's gonna happen. He's going to win the treble in Bayern, right? He's gonna win the domestic treble, not the European Champions League treble type thing. He's gonna win the domestic treble in Germany next season, and everybody's gonna have to shut up, right? He still won't win an international trophy. He plays for England, but he's gonna win a trophy with Bayern next season. Look, Hansi Flick could go down there and they'd win the quadruple.
Mm, yeah, he was supposed to win the treble this season, but look how that turned out. I can't put nothing past Hurricane, It's Hurricane. It's him. But I think he has a chance. If he can't win anything with Bayern, Lord help him. I don't want to see him in another England shirt because he's just bad juju, bad juju. Yeah, yeah, but
Blood,
yeah.
blood. I tell you, I really hoped that Man City would have bought him. Like before Haaland, when they put 150 to Daniel Levy, he should have taken that money. He should have taken that money, and we would all be living good. City would be winning fuck all. Tottenham might be a better team. Everybody's happy. Kane's not winning, but who cares? He's broken Shearer's record. Like, but nah, Daniel Levy's just a big idiot. This whole rivalry thing. Sometimes you have to know when you're the smaller club and just move on. But enough of getting Tottenham fans on our back. Um, that's a good show. Thanks again for listening in, guys. Do appreciate it. Um, let's see. It's the middle of the month. Currently, we're on 276 downloads. Is it possible to make 300 in the next, what's that, 14 days until the end of the month? Is it 15, 14, one of them, 13?
Yeah, oh, the executive producer told me to tell you guys to like the video if you think Diddy I gonna drop another Diddy video I gonna drop for next week so we can kick the bucket again. Cause Diddy, like every week some new information about Diddy come out saying I have to kick the bucket. And I don't know, say, if something else come out, him have to kick the bucket again next week. So just like the video and let me know if you care about Diddy kicking the bucket for some random reason. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, but for sure. But on a serious note, yeah, follow the Twitter and like and subscribe. JFC, KFC. Yeah.
What the hell? Blood said KFC. What the hell?
Um. Yeah, you
Oh
can tell
man.
why I don't do the promoting. I'm bad.
Don't worry about it, blood. But guys, that was it. Do appreciate it again. As Fry says, like, follow, subscribe, etc. Share, tell people about this, whatever. And we'll see you guys next week. Told you we'd be a bit earlier. We have all gotten out of our bed, but I will be heading to training. I haven't played football in since 2018, blood. This is not going to be a good game. It's not going to be a good game.
Bro's going to be so tired in like 5 seconds. He's going to be
Blood.
so gassed.
Blood, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna start
Yeah.
jogging again. I'm gonna go to the pitch and work on my touches and everything. I'll see how quick I can get into shape. Then again, I only do have 10 days, so I need to get into shape by this time next week. So, we'll see you guys. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.
Peace.